Hello everyone, and welcome to PokeStrive Gaming. Today, there's been a lot of buzz about recent buffs in Pokémon Unite, and I think we need to address some misconceptions. People are claiming that Pokémon like Tyranitar, Dive Hurricane Cramorant, and Surf Hurricane Cramorant have become profoundly broken due to these changes. However, I believe this isn't entirely accurate. In fact, I'd argue that Metagross might be more affected by recent changes, but even then, none of these Pokémon are what I would call profoundly broken. The changes to these Pokémon have been relatively minor. I think there's a psychological effect at play. When people hear that a Pokémon has been buffed, and then see it being played more frequently on streams or YouTube, they assume it must be overpowered. But let's look at the details. Take Tyranitar, for example. It received a 150 HP buff, which is something you could achieve by equipping a couple of emblems or getting a single stack of an AEO's cookie. This isn't a massive increase. Similarly, its defense and special defense were increased by 20 points at every level, comparable to the bonuses you'd get from a focus band. Santoom's improvements, like an extra second on its stun and a faster cast, are nice but not game-changing. Essentially, these are all good buffs, but they don't drastically transform Tyranitar. Now, let's consider Cramorant. Dive Hurricane Cramorant received a 1-second cooldown reduction for Dive and about a 10% damage buff for Hurricane. Again, while these are beneficial changes, they aren't monumental. Yet, I see people on my stream asking if Cramorant is now the best mage in the game. This reaction is overblown. These buffs don't elevate Cramorant to the top tier. They simply make it a bit more viable. Historically, there have been patches that truly shook up the game, like the massive Dragapult buffs that turned it from one of the worst Pokémon into a powerhouse. Recent Gyarados buffs were also significant, but the current changes to Tyranitar and Cramorant don't fall into this category. I think part of the issue is that many players hadn't given these Pokémon much attention before the buffs. Now, with the buffs, they're trying them out and realizing they're stronger than expected. This leads to exaggerated perceptions of how game-breaking these changes are. The same goes for Razor Leaf Decidueye, which, despite some cooldown reductions, remains a suboptimal build. We've become accustomed to patches dramatically altering the meta, so even moderate improvements seem more impactful than they are. There's also an element of excitement around trying something new and discovering it's better than anticipated. This excitement can skew our perception. Overall, these buffs are positive. They make underutilized Pokémon more attractive without breaking the game. I enjoy these subtle adjustments because they bring diversity to the game without making anything overwhelmingly dominant. It's a delicate balance that keeps the game fresh and engaging. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Do you think these buffs are overhyped, or do you see them as game-changing? Let's discuss in the comments below. Thanks for watching and supporting PokeStrive Gaming. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Pokémon Unite insights. Happy gaming!